Beethoven.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alright, so we'll call our meeting to order. First on our agenda is our approval of the regular meeting minutes. Anybody like to make a motion? Joan, do I have a second? Donna? All in favor for approval of the minutes? Any opposing? Motion passed for the approval of the regular meeting minutes. We'll move on to our public comments. I think Nick and Christy were unable to attend.
Yeah, they're unable to attend, but it sounds like this, they have quite a few weeks planned to come in for this parade event. They're requesting that they could use the drive-in, as a starting point. Last year they had, at the Jeep event, I wanna say thousands of Jeeps. I'm not sure on the exact number, maybe 8,000. But this year they're expecting a few more. But they want to utilize the drive-in that day as a starting point. And I spoke with Christy. She said that they put sponsored by Stanton Tourism. But that's the extent of the details I have.
Do we have a date?
I want to say July 6th.
I'd say you're supposed to start out in
It's
the
a
morning. Let's start in the morning.
Yeah.
And then our cruising is on the second Saturday, Friday. Is that what we've, second Friday?
Do we have a calendar of events that are scheduled at the drive-in that are already scheduled there?
Oh, I know we're
Dates?
having, I think we're having something on the first. We definitely need to get a calendar in line for people utilizing the drive-in.
I know the city, that usually if we decide to do something, they've got a calendar, they put it on their webpage, and then Parks and Rec will do it as well. If we ask them, they'll just put it up on there, and they'll advertise it for us as well on their calendar
There's
page.
a lot of things we have scheduled right now for the bigger event.
Yeah, then you've got the corn festival that they're having in August.
But that's not at the drive-in.
No, so we don't have right now, just we'll have the cruise in on the second Friday, and then at this event, so the Jeeps, and then I'm looking at, on down the road in September.
Do we know the dates that the organization through the school wanted to use?
The 13th or the 20th of July.
July.
What is that
The schools is gonna,
It's not the schools, it's somebody that works with the schools, with kids. Because from the best I remember from the email.
They were showing movie also, was there a movie?
They were wanting, yes, they were wanting, I think, to show a movie, and then it was just the day for the kids.
they just want us to allow them to use the facility. I think that's a great idea, but we're on the cheap thing right now, so we're looking at the 6th of July, the 13th. And then we got the cruise in on the second Friday. We got 3 events in July.
Do we charge a fee for people that use it?
I'm not sure how that was done last year.
We've got a fee that's set in, that we put in several years ago, but like you said, on the entities and things like that, as far as school, and if you have like local cruise-ins or whatever it may be and stuff, we have the right to waive that fee and stuff as a commission. Because
If it's a tourism related
tourism related,
event.
because the fee is $1,000. And so we have the right to waive that as a commission when it was implemented back in 18, I think, or when we first started, 17, 18.
On the Jeep, is that what's on the wall also?
No, we're there unless you want to wait till we get further down on the agenda to discuss that. You want to do that? Or do we want to discuss that now?
I'll make a motion to allow them to utilize the drive-in on, July sixth,
That's on the sixth.
with the fee waived.
You need to make sure, are they gonna need the bathroom facilities or anything like that?
She did not mention that. They couldn't make it tonight because they were lining, I guess, this event out. But I think going forward, we really need to develop a plan for who we're waiving the fees for and a process for them to apply to utilize the drive-in, a deposit maybe.
Yeah, we really don't have anything per se.
No, I mean, they're
Bring your
filling
own.
out grant applications,
Yeah,
but,
that's different.
right, it's not,
We don't have
Like,
anything for
you
driving.
had someone that claims that they done a good job. Would it be okay with the board if we just utilize that individual or individuals and the board, because I know the fee's not a lot, and we just have them to come in after the event and take care of it, because with these events lined up and things coming, we'll need somebody that can get in there and knock it out and get it done.
If we're going to allow them to use the driving, I think they'll be responsible and clean up after themselves.
Yeah,
So
I
let's
mean,
have
If
them
they
pay.
don't want to, then they could pay, but.
they can pay the
That was
fee.
what I
you know, mean,
suggested, like with the deposit. But I
You know,
know,
just
just need to
to-
come up with some sort of process that everybody agrees on if they're going to utilize it and rent it or whatever we decide on, there needs to be like a, you know, kind of like a checklist of who's
Yes.
responsible for what, so then that way we've got everything.
Because that's gonna be 3 events in July, you know, so it's a pretty quick turnaround, 6th, 13th, and then the second Friday, so we're gonna have 3 quick events there.
Cause it seems like that every time that we have an event, that we're having to pay somebody to come in and clean the restroom facilities, so we at least need to recoup that amount in order to not be just putting money out and not getting anything from the community in return. It only makes sense to have a deposit, a fee, to use that, because I'm sure that if you've got that many vehicles lined up, that somebody's gonna have to use the restroom.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Is that including if it's a tourism sponsored event? That somebody else is responsible for cleaning the bathrooms?
I wouldn't imagine.
Huh?
I wouldn't imagine. I mean, other than just making sure that they're not a disaster when
Right.
they're out there. But yes, as far as a special deep cleaning, we need to get a schedule figured out for that.
I know whoever cleans the last one, they done a good job with there, so what do y'all want to do? How much are we talking?
I don't
How
know,
much
I
are we
mean,
talking on the,
I don't know what they charged the last time they cleaned the bathroom.
seemed like I saw,
I think it was 140.
I mean,
150, I mean, you got to have something in order
but then you
to-
got, you know, you've got garbage you gotta get out of there, you gotta take care of all that. So, I mean, it's,
now in Rumpke, I noticed they'll empty the dumpster up there, but as far as the cans, I don't see that they're emptying the cans, you know, all the cans that they'll go, the dumpster will be empty, but they're not emptying, it don't seem like we're pulling the cans.
see, I don't know if Rumpke's got a schedule to be out there.
You'll see the cans they'll have, but the dumpster will be completely empty. I mean,
That might be something we need to check on then.
I did just text Nick Rose, he said they would use the bathroom facility.
They would use them, okay.
So were we all in favor for allowing them to utilize it for their event, and going forward, we need to establish a process?
I still think we need to charge a fee as far as they're gonna be using the restrooms, we need to have somebody to be able to clean.
It was $140.
You know, you take into consideration the garbage, you know, if they're gonna have, I would imagine they're gonna have a lot there if they're just doing the staging area. So maybe $250 across the board.
I drove up to the drive-in, and actually, I'll tell you, I was actually impressed, there's not hardly anything on the ground up there, the cans are all being utilized for the event with Friday, and you didn't see cans or anything laying on the ground or stuff, though it actually, just like you said, they didn't use the cans that was out for Friday, so the garbage cans. You know, but I mean, we have had.
I
movies
understand,
and
I've
plays
seen
where-
it, I mean, I have, you know, taught school for 25 years, and
So they did.
kids hit stuff and the wrapper goes to the
But you
wind.
gotta give credit to the car pit, so the car keep warmed up, they did a great job.
That's good.
What is the date for your all's next?
12.
The 12th?
Well, so thank the car, y'all done a great job.
That'd be Mr. Russ.
The grounds look good.
My comment to that is, that's what you're gonna get with car people. I mean, they like the event, they wanna come back, they're not gonna trash
Yeah, the
it.
cans look, I think you said, it looked good.
There was literally like 5 pieces of trash, I think, over the whole entire ground.
Yeah,
I'm
it-
surprised the heck out of me.
When I drove up there today, I was like, wow, man, you always see these garbage cans and, I mean, there's no trash.
Yeah.
So for the event, for this, the school thing, is the 13th enough turnaround after your all's event on the 12th to have them, or do we need to tell them the 20th? For that?
Usually,
I mean, if we've got somebody that can come in to clean, I think we can do it.
I can tell you right now, I've got, if you're interested in seeing, I've got pictures of Everett toilet up there after Friday's event, just for my records, and that bathroom is, I
the
mean,
concession is clean too, you know.
Yeah.
So they
But
could
that
have.
would be using the concessions as well, wouldn't they, for that movie? Because I think they would want to do popcorn and stuff. But they have money to pay to use the facility. It wouldn't be a tourism sponsored event.
How many counties is involved in that?
It would just depend on who that came after they invited them. It's not, I mean, you it would just depend.
So you think the 13th will work, they'll have the 12th on the cruise in
I
there?
mean, I think, just see what them, which date would be best for them, but we need to know sooner rather than later.
So we're good. Pass that over.
Yeah, but we haven't all,
Look,
as
You
far
wanna
as
make a
the Jeep,
motion?
as far as the Jeep event, are we wanting a deposit?
Yes, please.
So we say, $150 deposit and allow them to use the drive-in for July 6th.
are we
Make a
on
motion.
the 150, or do we? do-
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Second.
If we just, go ahead.
I'll take that down, 150 will cover.
is that a tourism event though?
No.
Well, the Jeep thing sort of is, because they're bringing people in, so yes.
This will be people from everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that's why I was.
And technically, you guys are sponsoring, right?
Yeah,
No, I don't think we're sponsoring, we don't have, there's some mention to that about sponsoring it, hanging something up, but I mean, this is a short time frame thing for us to be able to get anything out and about to do it, it's just not, it's not gonna happen.
Well, I guess what I was thinking, if they're gonna put our name on it, as being one of the sponsors, I mean,
That's fine, I mean,
that would be, to me,
yeah, because we're gonna have to come to a consensus on the utilization of this driveway at some point in time, on how we're gonna handle this. I mean, it has to be tourism based.
did they say it was did they say it was a tourism sponsor on the?
They said they would.
They would?
But that would be whether or not we wanted to sponsor it.
I mean, short of saying we'll do the
But
150.
we're waiving the fee
We're
as
raising
well.
the fee and just asking for a
They need
deposit.
to-
Yeah.
And the deposit will be, and the deposit
I
can be
would say-
refunded as long as they clean everything up behind.
I would
So,
say going forward, we need to figure out,
Yeah.
you know,
If we get through tonight, then we can, the next, put it on there for, how we want to go with it.
so we make a motion for $150 to utilize that event space.
Yeah,
We're refundable if they clean everything up
Refundable.
the way they left it.
they'll get that back.
Okay,
I'll second it.
is,
All in favor?
sorry.
No, you're fine. Any opposing? Okay, so the motion's passed. You'll have to remind me what it's passed for. What did we decide on?
A $150 deposit that would be refunded if it is left, in good condition.
Okay, so that covers that portion. Next on our agenda is, chairman's update. I made a few notes of some of the things. I mean, I'm sure we'll wanna talk about the Back Roads of Appalachia event that we had in conjunction with our cruise in. We have brochures that are being delivered on 6/21, so we'll have those for the city of Stanton. The radio ads, I have scheduled to re-record those on Monday of next week, so we'll have that taken care of. And then, for the Back Roads event, we also coordinated again with the, detention center through Teddy and Neil and those guys, and so they come out and help with the tents and things like that, so we always like to say thank you, to them for their continued help.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't know if there's any updates from any of the, do you have anything? Or
Okay. The only thing I have, Pete Thomas, reached out and, really praised the Back Roads of Appalachia event and hoped that we would, make arrangements for next year. It seems like those guys wanted it to be even bigger next year. There was all kinds of those, people who brought their drift cars out and were in Dairy Queen, they were in Crabtrees, they were everywhere. They really do push for those guys coming in to shop local, and he just wanted us to know he would be here tonight, but he had other things going on. Just wanted us to know that the businesses really appreciated it.
I do know that, like you said, I talked with, Edgar Sormento on Sunday before they left. And, they were up at Thatcher's after the event on Saturday. And they basically, Subway, and it's, you can look it up, Subway had to close down on Saturday. They sold out. The guys actually went in and Subway put a sign out, sorry, but sold out. And they bought them out all their, I mean, but they spent a lot of money. Middle Fork Fire Department, I actually know that Eric and them went to the lunch bucket at NADA and bought lunch for Middle Fork. All the people up through there that were involved, they were passing out food, taking it, driving back and forth up there at Slade. And like you said, they went in and was getting ice cream before they come to the drift event on Friday. I see them going in there and they were out taking pictures with kids and everything. One guy named Hurt Life, he's out of Florida, he's got 12 million followers. And he only comes to certain drift events. And Dustin might have saw him there, the guy that was in he let some of the kids get in his car and take a few pictures and things. And there was the two teenagers came over and asked him if he would sign a poster, and he gave them the poster and they signed them. And he let them sit in the cars. But this was just not them, the local cruise-in folks turned out massive as well. I've never seen nothing like it. Folks, I'm telling you right now, this was massive. And the aerial view, you saw it, that Back Roads put up in the air, they put the video up, and I'm telling you right now, I've been on the board since 2017. I've never seen that many people drive in. That's the biggest crowd event that I have ever saw that drive in. And not one incident went off. Everything was great. You didn't see anything. You had all different groups mixing and enjoying the music, the movie, and they were thinking the tourism and other members people was because, and I said, no, thank you all. Without you all, there wouldn't be an event, the car people. But thank April, you all, Dustin, all y'all, the locals came out in a massive group, and I'm talking from numerous counties.
You had, West Liberty people come. I mean, it was.
Wolf County,
You had Wolf, Estill County my car club from Estill County showed up. I mean, Dustin
Clay
had a
City,
lot
all
of
of them,
people,
yeah.
him and his wife had a lot of people show up from, the Smiley showed up from like.
The longest distances we had registered, because not everybody registers every time, we're begging people to register because it's free.
Yeah.
But, we only had 65 that registered as far as the cars.
There's a lot more than that.
Right. But the farthest one was Mount Vernon or Frankfurt that we had people from, so.
And even the drift guys was going over taking pictures with the local car things, and they were putting them and posting them to their pages. And there was people coming from Canada, all over the United States saying, where is this place? And they were Googling it, looking it up, tagging
Stanton, Kentucky and Powell County folks got put on the map just by one event. When you're talking 1,500 plus people at an event, that's massive.
But it's camaraderie. Everyone worked together
Yeah.
for that event. You know, I mean, it wasn't just one taking
Yeah.
credit. It was Stanton, it was, I mean, you know, everyone, Natural Bridge, I mean, everyone came together for that.
And the county benefited greatly from this because people now are saying Powell County and Stanton put on an event like no other. And I actually was brave enough to get the car Saturday.
Yeah, we-
I'm not gonna say I'll
You
do
and
it
the
again.
judge, right?
Yeah, but I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna say I'll do it again. But I will say one thing, that they're very professional, and they did say, if you all wanna have us back next year, their word was, they said, we wanna work with the local people, and we wanna make it bigger. They're even saying maybe 3 days. They wanna be here an extra day. So they're actually saying instead of Friday, Saturday, make it like a 3-day event through the weekend and promote it. And hundreds of applications that they turn people away for
Wow,
this.
that would be really good.
So,
It's
thank
just
you all.
something we make sure that we get squared away.
Thank you all.
And then I do want to backtrack just a minute because I forgot to ask if there was any other public comments before we moved forward from anybody. So I just wanted to check before I went.
Can
And
we talk about the cruising a little bit?
if you want to, yeah.
And I think, would they include that, the nursing home car show in the public comments too?
Yeah, we can.
Okay,
Thank
we'll just tag that along with it.
Yeah.
First of all, I'll bring some gifts to y'all. I'll take a little pass it around. We've got extras of these.
Wow.
This was from this weekend's event. So take one of those and pass it around too. That's the dash plates that we do every time there's coming event, we'll have to back off. I did 100 this time, and like I said, we only had 65 come over and register. So for the next event on the back, it's 50 again. And then you can take one of these and pass it around. There's, we have one of those. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Just kind of a summary of the event. So we had 65 registered, 24 from outside the county. I already mentioned Mount Vernon and Frankfurt being the farthest that we know of. I think there's probably more from other areas as well. We had a representation of over 90 years of automobiles there. I think that's pretty incredible. When you think about it, these car shows, you may have a 100-year-old vehicle there that's running and driving there. Of course, we got the 50/50. I gave you all some financial information there. I won't go over in great detail, but you all got it there. The total cost from our perspective from the cruise in was $473 to you all. That's including taking the $90 out that we raised on our 50/50 drawing from last month. I always put that back in. I ain't gonna take anything out of that for myself at all. So it cost $563, took the 90 out. One thing I'm asking for, and this is not just for the month of July, but as far as the funding, that's where it would fall into. We've got banners that we're working on, which I would take out of the normal budget if I need to. Hopefully those will be done in the next week or so. But we'd like to have a couple of 6-foot tables for our registration. I've been borrowing those from our church and hauling them back and forth. But if we had those 2 tables up there, I'd leave them there. They're there for any event, for anybody to use. Also, I think it'd be good to have a couple of cornhole sets to have up there just sitting out if anybody wants to walk up and play them. Not just for our cruising events, but any event that's up there. I found some on Amazon that have a carrying case that everything can be stored in and protected, and we just leave them up there in the concession stand, or if there's another safe spot up there for those. But again, that would be for anybody's use. But that's one thing I'm asking for July. If you all would talk about that some.
Do we have any tables anywhere?
If you've got them, that'd be great.
I see, we just got the round, I know we just got the round ones that took the drive in, and then, as far as long ones, now that I can remember, have a long table. I think we always had to borrow them here we actually borrowed them here from the city and take them, the long tables, and we use them, so we don't have long tables.
We do have the cornhole sets.
Yep.
Oh, you do? Okay. Where?
In that little
They're in
building,
the
little room.
off the concession, yeah. There's
So-
some that are in there.
In like the back room back there?
No, up in the front, like the board, like that little sign.
Okay. We don't have a key to that. Cause like, and this one thing I wanted to bring up too, some things looking forward to next year for back roads, a couple things. Pete has some issues electrically, and we didn't have a key to get into that room immediately and flip the breaker on. So his warming ovens and coolers and things I think went down during that time. And he was the only one on that power system. On the other side with the concessions, with their air conditioner and the ice machine, That's also where our DJ was getting his power from. He couldn't go full power. I know there were complaints of the music not reaching the drift car guys, and that was the reason. He had to back off his sound because every time the air conditioner would kick on, his music dropped. And it was because of the power issues. One thing that we could fix with a bigger event like that is put the DJ at the little building, the old projector building, the small screen still out there, and he would be the only one using that power until the projectors are turned on. So that could remedy that, but, next year we need to get the DJ in a different location.
Because Fun Flex was the only one that used that, they plugged the cord in, so that building was only used by them
Yeah.
for a couple hours and that's it.
Right, so I think that would probably help out, but it may be something worth looking into of some power updates in the building itself. For the
Because the
positions.
directors, every time he would announce, or they would say something, they'd be like, what'd he say? You know, and they'd have to come and stand. It's time consuming, running back and forth, telling, you know, communication.
Yeah, Danny, our DJ, he's got thousands of watts in those speakers. I mean, he's got quite a bit of money invested in that to put that power out, and he couldn't put full power out there at the end. So I felt bad for him. He was worried that it was going to reflect on him, and I said, I'll make sure that we state something in a post on that.
I think Mike, you'd even talked in the past about maybe putting some extra outlets out there. I mean, a few years ago, with like electric,
We just need to figure out the power situation out there.
Yeah.
We need a committee for that driving at some point, quickly.
We need another set of keys that are labeled, for the people who are utilizing their drive-in.
I don't think there was what you said.
I think there's like 30 keys on each.
Yeah, there's just piles of it, yeah.
We can maybe fix one for just that we can leave down here. So then we come get, right?
I've got a set, I can get up with him,
Okay.
get what he needs.
So tables is what you need, Dustin?
2 tables would be great, and again, it's something you all can use for whatever you need out there. But if you've already got the cornhole sets, if we can just get our hands on that, that'd be great.
They're brand new, the bags are
I
new.
think there's a couple different things up there,
Okay.
like entertainment wise.
Cool. I mean,
Yeah, that's
They'll-
great
they'll
for
get into
kids and
that.
stuff, you know, when they are kids. And
Yeah.
older people, you know, like to do the cornhole later on in the fall.
We
you
got
know.
the Jenga game for the kids.
Yeah, there's some other things that are in
That
there.
would have been great the other night, because there was a bunch of people that picked their kids up from softball, and, you know, they would love Jenga, you know, and put them in it,
We
you
got
know.
those in the bags and then some other things that sit there that we purchased back probably 4 years ago.
okay, yeah, that'd be good. One thing I wanna eventually get into, maybe you all have seen this at car show, I've only seen it announced and haven't actually seen it with my own eyes, is the Hot Wheel races, to get the kids involved.
Yes.
I think that might be a big draw too, so we'll see if we can get something going with that.
Well, it's just for kids.
Right? So anyway, without taking up too much time, Taylor and April come here, but Taylor, April's daughter, she's over the activities and events at the nursing home. And, you raise money for the
Christmas fund.
Christmas fund.
Yeah, all their Christmas present money comes from all the money I fundraise. So that's why I was wanting to use the drive-in September 21st for our car show that we done. We done it last year and it was a big turnout. We had around 70 cars and bikes there. It's one of our biggest fundraisers.
But she had to have it in Clay City at the time.
Yeah.
So we want it up here because it's across from the nursing home, and we want them involved in it, you know, I mean,
The residents can.
the residents can come and be a part of it, because they are a big part, they made this community, you know, and I mean,
It's like you said, I will tell you the second year, or the first year and second year that we had Pumpkin Fest, we had the car show at the Whitaker Bank, and they actually brought the residents up, and they brought them up to about Whitaker Bank, and they let the lift down, and they got out some in the wheelchairs, different things. They rode right through the parking lot, went up and went around, stayed about an
They
hour.
enjoy stuff like that. They
Yeah, for
really
the
do.
guys there.
And then the year of the drive-in that we had to have it right during COVID, they brought them over just for a little bit of time, but they actually came to Whitaker Bank and got out, and they got to sign the raffle for the raffles and stuff, so they were part of that
well, we want
event.
to do them to do a choice. That way they have a say-so who wins the car show, because, you know, like, not a people's choice, but a resident's choice.
Yeah.
Does that make
Well, that'd
sense?
be good, yeah.
That'd be awesome,
Because old men love, well, and women too, I mean, I'm a big car girl.
that'd be.
One thing I was talking to them about is they could just tag on to the Cruise and Exit 22 events, and we'll kind of promote that for them, promote their event, help them with that. So it'll be a sponsored tourism event, bringing the cars in. We had 70 there last year.
Yeah.
But that was a rain postponed event.
Right, and not only that, is that's the same day that Urban done a benefit car show, because they plan all of the, spur of the moment. So that took at least, I know, 30 cars away from ours. We had people from Tennessee and Ohio that came.
She had 7 bikes from one band from Tennessee drove up, and he slept in his car because he didn't know where any of the, anything was around, the motels, anything like that. I mean, because we was just doing word of mouth and Facebook, sharing all your cruise-ins, and we didn't know what to do,
You also, like you said, you get so many people from out of the county that come to visit people that's their home.
Yes.
And they visit us, so throughout the day, you can drive by on any day and the place is full around the back, parking and everything, so I'm in big favor of this for September 21st, and I would even like to think, are you all looking at doing trophies maybe and something like that?
Yes.
I will tell you with Pumpkin Fest, and Scott's been around to do that, what we done with that a few years, we actually done like 10 trophies, and I had like the overall, and we sponsored the trophies. And then what we done, we just sponsored the Stanton tourism and had for the event, and then whoever won the best of show and all of the, you all know what the hell that goes, had someone to present the trophies, and then the tourism board was asked to come up and just stand and get a picture with everybody that got one. But we actually sponsored the trophies for that, and it went really well, and it had sponsored by.
Yeah,
You all are more welcome to drive your vehicles up and be a part of it.
You know, and when like you said, it went really well. It went really well, but they were actually big, nice trophies too.
And we wanna do dash plaques, that's the thing, because everyone that goes loves the dash plaques, that's the thing when you're a car show cruising.
And September's good weather too for the cruise.
Yeah, I told my wife today, I'm not done with cruising and car shows for the summer. This is getting too hot.
That's when you buy fans.
One other thing I wanted to just give you all some details on was this last time I promoted more from our Facebook page. I spent $100 on that advertisement, and we reached over 7,000, and it went across 4 states. I used your advice. I hit all of Kentucky, but I hit the Cincinnati and Huntington areas, because I figured maybe that would draw from those areas, and it just kind of went from there. We can utilize that to help them with their event too. So
They need to coincide with you, and it needs to be tourism based.
yes,
You've got to get it out on a tourism basis.
it'd be tourism based with Stanton Tourism and Exit 22 Cruising, promoting that and sponsoring that, but the proceeds are gonna go to their sponsors.
Okay, and that's, we just need help doing that, we don't know exactly, because we never had, last year, she's new at this, but.
The main thing was the location.
Yeah, and that's it, and the bigger the better for them, and it ain't nothing that's gonna, it's just gonna help, and we will, whatever Stanton Tourism needs, that's it, but we just want just bigger and better for the participants and the Christmas.
Yeah, we make questions. Sorry, go ahead, Toby. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We make up flyers too, we pass out, we go to several cruise-ins around the state, and we pass them out, flyers and everything, and announcing, so that's what we're trying to get is the place,
date and
so we
set.
can get our flyers out, get this promoted.
I know the first one I came up that all of you all had, Greg came from Wolf County, but Estill brought a big phone as well.
Well,
I
that's
saw
our
them lined up
cruising.
when April had brought them, and I was like, wow, this, and that was the first one advertised, and like you said, the weather, and actually one day you had to move it to a Saturday because of Friday, but since it's gonna be tourism based, tied in, we're gonna, when we look at, how do you do on trophies? How many,
Before we get ahead of ourselves here, what you guys need to do is get together, put something together and bring it back to us as
Okay.
quickly as
Just
possible.
like another, do we have to do a meeting, Mike, or do we just come see
Just-
you, or?
We've got to figure out on some sort of application. I'm sure we can figure something out between here and there, but if you can work with them.
I was gonna ask, what would you all need from us?
Well, just the proposal, what type of advertising you're gonna do, what you're gonna need, what utilization you're gonna have, if you're gonna have.
I get out a grant.
Oh, definitely do a grant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
we got one.
Okay.
I've seen it before when it came through on the
She had
email.
sent
For
it
some
over.
reason, I missed it.
Yeah, she sent it out email a while back.
That was, it came out with
Yeah, it was like last month.
last month,
Yeah.
but it was
Well,
after
but
the
still, what I'm
meeting.
saying is you need to give us an idea what you're gonna spend on your advertisement, how you wanna hit
That's fine. I
the
just,
surrounding
I just
areas.
need to know like the date, if that's okay, so I can make our flyers and,
Yeah, I mean, we've gotta have a grant application, and we've gotta have a usage application of some sorts. We have to figure that out.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, because the grant application doesn't fit across all things that's being asked.
But I think as far as the date, we don't have any event scheduled for that date, and I
We
think that
can see this block, it's on Sunday anyway, so.
Yeah,
we'll block that date.
Saturday.
Saturday, okay.
We'll block that date off.
We've been telling
I
everybody
got mine
Saturday,
up there.
don't do that, Mike, that ain't funny, I'm old.
There's a lot of that.
But I wanted one on Sunday, because people, you know, older people like on Sunday, what do you have to do in Powell County? You know what I'm saying, and if you come out of the gorge on the weekends, on, you know, like June or July, people see a car show, like, oh wow, let's go look at the cars.
I think that that'll be one of the bigger ones, because for the residents and things, I think that people
It
will come
is.
that normally don't come, that will come to that event because they'll want to donate and give to give back. So I think it'll be a huge event.
Well, and you get all of Estill and you Wolf County Car Club people, you know, because we belong to 2 car clubs. That's just, you know, and they pull them from Mount Sterling, they pull them from Ohio, from Tennessee, you know, and they was looking forward to it.
Taylor, thank you for all that you do, because you do a lot of good work up with that.
Like I said, all of the money for their Christmas fund comes from just my fundraising. I get no help from the nursing home, nothing else. So I worked my tail off for it, but it was a really good fundraiser for us last year. We raised a decent amount of money for our Christmas fund.
Ethan brought stuff here for us. Do you have anything for Ethan?
I did want to say that our logo in honor of our 50th anniversary has changed for the year. So if you have seen that floating around on Facebook, that's the special 50th anniversary mugs. The station WSKV went live back in 1974 with Freddie Hart's Easy Lovin'. It became a rock station for a while, went bluegrass for a while, went country for a while, and it's come back around to reflect local music and, of course, bluegrass and country.
my age, right?
I would have never dreamed, I will say, that, of course, local radio, it doesn't die. Everybody's like, has predicted the death of local radio multiple times, you know, from VH1 and MTV all the way to now. It's still the largest reach on a daily basis of any medium that you're going to find out there. And now that it's streaming, the age-old issue of, well, it's a Class A station, it only reaches so far because the FCC regulates you, that's gone. So now we have over 170,000 streams launched, not only in the US, but also overseas. Of course, some of those will come from VPNs. I know how the technology works, but again, a large lion's share of them are people who are employed, parents, relatives, people who have climbed here in the area and listen to that local music and go out, which is kind of neat. Along with that, I know the board has transitioned a little bit, and some of you have been on the board. I've had the privilege to serve on the board, and I know the stresses that there are associated with it. I did want to give you guys a couple of our advertising options. I'm not going to go over them because I know these meetings go long. So this is toilet reading for later if you need it. No, I'm joking. But there's a few options that would be well suited for tourism. One is we have cooperation, because I serve on the Kentucky State Broadcasters. So I have cooperation with a few of the TV stations and a good working relationship. Traveling to DC, did some lobbying with them recently. And we work well together. And one thing they've been looking for is a weather cam in the gorge. And I have 2 towers that I have access to. One overlooks Stanton. I already have leased space, and I have the equipment and technology and the proprietary software to be able to launch it. But I need a sponsor to be able to do it because I'm a small business. So that is included in there. You got to look at it. There's a mock view. That is not the view. I have been wanting to do the tower climb to take that view, but that is something that I think would be beneficial, particularly to Stanton, because my camera placement would have better views of Stanton. I'll say that. I would like to possibly look at it before fall, if you guys at all would be interested, because obviously the fall colors is the big thing. And they will show our cameras on WYNT, WKYT, News Channel 18.
People are not ready to look at the leaves, the bullets, and everything.
And that gives a cool thing on the news networks too, to give us that kind of unique reach. So that's one of the things. Of course, you guys are doing the temperature checks currently, which of course you mentioned she's going to come in and update, which will be awesome. and get that voice out. That's twice an hour minimum. We actually do it significantly more than that. So it's a great way to kind of reach out to the audience. And then the only other thing that I would like to mention to you with that streaming audience that I mentioned, we have a new product, so please look over the printed out sheet that isn't edge to edge, because I haven't sent them off to the publisher yet because this is new. I ran a demo, and I always want to make sure my products work before I do it. Every time our stream is launched, we can set up, and of course you can do it with multiple entities, but I don't want our software stuff to look buggy. Whenever you get on an app, because of course we have an app for Apple and for iOS, or not iOS, but Android, thank you. I was trying to say Google Play, it wasn't coming out of my mouth, and it's funny because I'm only a Google. But anyway, and then of course our online streamer and then our smart speakers. The cool thing is, if you launch our stream, we can actually roadblock it to where a promotional message goes out first, and that can be both a banner ad if they're looking at it, and it can also be an audio. Putting them together is pretty strong. That way, no matter how they listen, they're going to get that tagged audio spot. We don't want to do too much of it because we want people to not see us as an ad-based thing. We've run it pretty much freeware for a long time because we want it to be listener-centric, not advertiser-centric. But it would again be a very cool opportunity, and it would be a sole sponsorship. So it could be Exit 22, however you guys want to brand it. Every time somebody launched, every time 170,000 people a year launched that stream, they would be able to hear the message that we controlled listening to. It would be kind of cool. So that would be the only other option that I would want to draw your attention to if you'd all be interested. So if you have any specific questions, I'll go ahead and give you my cell phone. Because I know I'm cranking a lot in. And then also on the back of my card, you'll note, and I'm not slighting any other DJs in the community. I work with other DJs in the community because there's a lot going on across the region. But if you need medium audio reinforcement, my mouth is dry and I'm wearing my stuff out today. I can assist in that capacity. So if like Pumpkin Fest, you're looking to do musical artists or things like that, I would be honored to help with that. I can provide other DJ services too. If you have multiple events going on in the community, like with Pumpkin Fest, where you can use multiple entities, and I'd love to help any way I can. I'm kind of the bridge between somebody who has a tiny PA and audio out of Lexington. So basically I'm in that mid-level to cover small festival up to about 1,500 people. So.
I will say, like you said, Ethan had served on the board when the board first was created in 2017. He served for a couple of years, and he would, like you said, use his services voluntarily. He came out the year that we had that here on the corner lot across from BP. Everything was overheating, everything. You remember breakers blowing. He was down that day. It was at 90 degrees. Scott can tell you that day we were selling shirts. And he was all up down through town. Ethan was running with a black t-shirt on and his crew, and he was rewiring and doing things to make sure that there was a band that set up at China Walk, and then there was one on the corner. So he was all through town. He's local, and just like Cruising is the same way. I feel like that we need to try to keep our dollars local because that's where it's coming from, and we need to work with WSKV because they do reach a wide audience. And Ethan's been gracious enough, we'll get to it here in a minute, about the annual Independence Parade, about going ahead and putting that on the radio itself. But I feel like that this is an opportunity. Ethan, you brought in something that, a really nice packet here. And, you know, he was passionate about when he started on the board. When he left, he said, if you need my services, we ended up there. We reached out to him because we did need him as far as contracted. And he had some people that worked with him. He had to be at a wedding at one day. You had something you had to be. They came out and done a tremendous job. So you all have always been willing to work in the community and help do a lot of things, and we appreciate it. We want to work with you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. And also, if there's any nonprofit events, make sure you send them to the radio station. There's a portal on the website, and you can submit those to us, and we list those for free.
That would be you, little girl.
We love to listen.
Well, that is awesome.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Ethan.
Alright, so we'll get back on track here. We do have our final reading of the 24-25 budget. I've gave everybody a copy of that. I don't know if y'all had a chance to look over it. If anybody had anything on that. Anyone have a motion on that to approve? Anyone want a second motion for that?
Do you have something to say about, or Vicky, or? I'll second.
All in favor for the approval of the budget?
Do, I was just looking, do we have anything in the budget about a person or a salary? Is that in there or not?
No, I didn't know where to, we got the application down at the bottom. There is no
That's payroll.
set,
Payroll expenses, number
there's
5.
no set salary for the director that we've taken applications for. If we're gonna move forward with this is a problem that occurred last time, honestly. There's just a lot of confusion with it. I'd like to make a motion to set the salary at $50,000 plus benefits for the director that we're going to hire.
The salary is already set by the
Yeah.
city. It's, 40,000 plus benefits.
But let me just chime
So
in.
the board doesn't decide that.
Yeah, you got a motion and a second. on
Right.
it.
I was glad you said that.
You can do stuff after that,
Right.
but that needs to be addressed.
It needs to be voted on for accepting
Or you need to vote to table
the,
or
or something,
something.
yeah, or not vote
You got that on the table right now.
Yeah. on the budget.
So should we table this for later?
But we need to get that through. We need to get the budget
The
done.
budget, yeah,
Yeah,
budget
it's
has
not-
to be
You
approved.
can always amend it.
Right.
Later.
We need to amend the beginning, go through it again.
Traditionally, whether you're a city or what you guys are. it's
Right,
just-
it has
you
to
wanna
be.
get it done by July 1.
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget.
We would already made, we just need to go to vote.
And you second?
I second
Yeah,
it, yes.
so we're all in favor for approval of the budget?
Aye.
Any opposing? Motion's passed for approval of the 24-25 budget. And we'll just need to sign off on that.
Standard line items here, guys.
Okay, so next up we have, oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay, we have the compliance update from Scott.
We are making good progress on that. We are down to, we're within the last 365 days. I actually paid a registration fee of $250, which I'll put on y'all's bill. But, we're caught up to the last 12 months. One problem is the last 12 months was a very turbulent time in the history of the Tourism Commission. And I probably need to look, I've been in contact with David, I've been in contact with Teresa. I probably need to look at the last, very closely at the last 12 months of minutes. Primary thing, make sure we didn't any budget amendments. I don't think we did any budget amendments, but I want to make sure that I am positive that we didn't do any budget amendments, so that's one of the important things we have to do. So that would go back to July of last year. And, Sarah, I don't know, do you have those minutes from back that far, or just?
I have them at the house. I
Okay.
could email them over to you.
Okay, that'd be good. Let me look at those. And the way that portal's set up is you have to answer this, you have to fill out this form before they let you go down to the other form. So we should be 100% caught up by our July meeting.
Thank you. All right, so on to our new business, we have approval and payment of our open invoices, which I emailed over to everyone. They didn't have to review them. If anybody had any comments on those? Anybody wants to make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the open invoices.
Okay. Second? All in favor of paying the invoices?
Vicky, you have something to ask again?
I do, cause a lot of this stuff, I guess, happened, some of these things were approved before that. I was on this, so, I don't know, I mean, I don't know what everything is for. I mean, I assume we owe them, but I'm not sure.
Vicky, you could abstain if you felt more comfortable doing that since you don't know the actual charge.
So, that was my only question. I mean, most of these were self-explanatory, but I didn't know, because of things that had been decided before, that I didn't know what everything was.
And I don't ever run through those either, if you've got questions on them.
I mean, I assume that from the music in the park, all of that's things that with that 12,000 that we are giving them, so I'm assuming these people either performed or had something to do with that. And I understand about the utility bills. Then there was one from, it was a Visa charge, but I don't know what that was. That was got from the bank, it's from the bank statement there. It's in here, it's for $86, but I'm not sure what that was for.
That's on the credit card, so that should be like, do you know when that one cuts off? Visa card?
I don't have access to any of this.
I can double check with Teresa on that and have her, cause I don't think when she sent me that, she didn't send me the breakdown of what was included on that for the credit card.
Okay.
That's the credit card, so that would be for any of the food that was purchased or anything during like I don't know what the dates on the cutoff, probably for like the Derby event. And then, the flags would be on there, with the decorations. But if you wanna hold off on that one, I can.
No,
get-
no,
I
that
can
is
get her-
fine, I just didn't have a clue what that was,
Yeah.
because it just says Visa and didn't have anything else on it.
I can get that from Teresa.
But it was mostly when we was decorating, get everything ready for the Derby event.
So do we wanna go ahead and just approve everything but that?
No, I mean, that's fine, I just had a question as to what it was for.
Alright,
We've already got the motion in a second.
okay, all in favor?
Right.
Any opposing? Motion's passed for the open invoices. Then we have funds for advertising the July 5th parade.
Okay, on the, has everybody, Scott, can you reach one of those around too? And,
We just got one.
of course, this will be by the city of Stanton. Mike, I know we've talked back and forth about it. The contact number is 606-6474 for the city. It'll be the January the 5th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The parade will start on Elkin Street and we'll go down North Main Street and we'll turn on Court Street. There will be a ceremony following for the veterans. Will be the AMVETS Post 67, American Legion, the Ladies Auxiliary, and the Powell County Memorial Veterans Association. All of those associations have already agreed that they will participate. Mr. Hugh Reed said that the American Legion will carry the flags. They're also reached out to the peacemakers in Montgomery County and some other organizations in Estill County and others about being involved. And I'm pretty sure that the peacemakers will be here as far to be red, white, and blue as it speaks on here. Mr. Frank Kincaid with the state has already signed off, actually within 24 hours of him receiving a letter from the city, and the police chief had to sign off on that they would do traffic control. And within 24 hours, Mr. Kincaid approved from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to have the road closures shut down. There'll be a ceremony at the Veterans Park. There'll be food. The Ladies Auxiliary will be set up, which Debbie Pelfrey is the president of the Ladies Auxiliary here in Stanton. And they will, all the proceeds that go to the concession will go back into the AMVETS Post 67 for their Christmas with a Smile Fund. That is their biggest fundraiser of the year. They buy bicycles, toys, clothes, everything that you can name. They wrap all the gifts at the events. This goes for the entire Powell County for kids during Christmas. They also do a scholarship program for the seniors. Any veteran that has a child, they give money to that child to go to school, to college, to further their education. They also work with community-based organizations to help get clothing, whatever needs to be done. And like he said though, Mr. Kincaid, the big thing is getting the road closure shut down. He done it very quickly when he found out that it was for the AMVETS, for the veterans. So the tourism, like he said, is not being asked to give any money as far as, like you said, to buy anything. The only thing is advertising. I spoke with Ethan briefly about it, and I would like to see if the tourism would be welcome to put some advertisement with Brandon with the Patriot in the newspaper for it, because I know that he's big with the veterans. He works with them very closely, and I know Ethan does as well. Ethan's actually doing the July the 6th festivities down at Clay City for the AMVETS Post 67. So the day after, Ethan will be in Clay City all day working with them. It would be nice if we could get Ethan to do the sound, to do through the parade, and to actually set up like the PA down there at the Veterans Park, because what will happen, you'll have a speaker from each Indy that'll get up the commander now, and they'll be speaking. Mr. Gil Means actually said they would be power washing, getting all the fountains up and running, and have it looking nice. The cities said we could take the chairs here. We're going to set the chairs up over on the concrete and have it set up really nice. The courthouse is closed that day, City Hall is closed. But we're asking, as we said, anyone can be in the parade in red, white, and blue. Our veterans will be up front. People can throw out candy to the kids. Mr. Ed's hot dogs. I spoke with Dean. Dean said he would love it there on the corner where his restaurant's at. He said it would be packed there, and he said they would love to be involved. And there'll be a first, second, and third place plaque for each float. The Ladies Auxiliary again has already said they would put a float in the parade. So they've already are working on a float, want to do one for the parade. So that'll be three, that'll be handed out. And then also each organization will be handed a memento for their service to our nation. That day when they get up and speak, there'll be a presentation. So you'll have the AMVETS Post 67, you'll have the American Legion, you'll have the Ladies Auxiliary, and the Powell County Memorial Veterans Association, which is Gail Means, Pam Crow, Darlene Drake, and Jumbo Todd. You have 4 in that organization now. So Gail was actually extremely happy. He said, Joey, he said, you know, the flags will stay up to the 4th to have that decoration. This will be something though, like you said, that I feel like that we could even maybe reach out to maybe our 27, like Victor or someone, to cover with some of our veterans. But I know Ethan would be crucial with this. He does a lot of this, and Brandon with his advertisement. And then we can do our social media outlet too. So I would like to say that, you know, this is red, white, and blue. This is for Independence Day. We wouldn't even have our freedom fights. We wouldn't even be sitting here in this room if it wasn't for our veterans. I mean, honestly, we wouldn't even be. And then I know Max brought up Veterans Day. We did reach out to the band. They said they would actually love to do one in November as well. November, the schools, and the one on veterans would have to be a different day, but they do a ceremony at the school on Veterans Day, so we'd have to pick a different day. We're not doing anything that takes away from Clay City. We've actually coordinated Mr. Humphreys and them. He said that they will be a bunch of veterans that will ride in vehicles or side-by-sides because they can't walk the parade. So they're excited about this. And they said that their event will be then on the next day. They said this will be awesome in our community for Friday and Saturday, both having 2 days honoring our veterans. So all that I'm asking is, like you said, the plaques are going to be taken care of. All of that's going to be taken care of by outside people, is for advertising. And I would like to, if the board would consider, to use WSKV as one of the sources, and also the Powell County Patriot to advertise this event. And like you said, the flyer's made up, and you can see here it's made, it can be run, and I think once we hit the market with the advertising, that we'll have a lot more interest, because like you said, you'll have the kids out of school, the parents can bring them out, and we can continue to grow this each and every year. And, but every dime that they raise at the Veterans Memorial Park will go back into the Christmas with a Smile Fund. And that is to buy for the kids at Christmas here in Powell County. And they are going to have their own food. They're not asking for us to, anyone to buy anything. They said they will set up and do the cooking that day. And the road closure is a done deal with the state. The city already has the permits to do that from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then once it's at the Veterans Park, it doesn't matter because like you said, but the chairs will be set up, the water fountain will be really nice, and they'll have all the flags up. And I think that this will really, reaching out to peacemakers, Estill County and other counties will have veterans here as well as Powell County veterans. And as someone that my brother served in Desert Storm, was a veteran, my dad served in the Korean War, and I take it, like any of you all, with very serious. And
You know how much that you're needing?
I would have to ask Brandon. He said it was only for what was it, high page, Brandon, or
Yeah, depending on what
or
you
a
want.
page?
Like I said, 75 for a quarter, 135 for a half. I can give you all the details where you should want it.
So he said $100 some dollars.
So who's handling this event?
The city.
The city is.
Yeah, the city it's got their contact information in the city, and I've also told Teresa that if anyone wants to reach out to me, to feel free to call me, because I'll be out there volunteering that day helping with the bill.
Okay.
I'll be volunteering helping.
So
But it's already done. I mean, it's already in the works. I mean, the state's already approved everything, and the veterans has already agreed. Debbie and them, the ladies auxiliary is already working on the float, so it's already in the thing with the veterans. They've already got to work on everything. Gail Means called me last week and said that they were, had everything cleaned and ready to go. So this is strictly Independence Day for our entire community to come out and enjoy red, white, and blue, but it's to honor and celebrate our veterans at the Veterans Park for a closing ceremony. And I would hope that everyone would want to support this, because like you said, the very next day, Clay City is having all their fireworks and their veterans and things going there. So this will be an entire weekend event, honoring our veterans that have served greatly in our nation here in Powell County. We have some that were there to AMVETS that actually said they would have to ride through, but they would be there that day because they said Stanton in 1948 had a veterans parade. And it was down North Main Street on the dirt road. There's a picture of it in the archives. And the house across from Raggedy Ann's is still standing. And that's where the parade route went, and they were walking with flags, kids running and grabbing candy. So I think that we could, it's not that we can do it, it's gonna be done. All I'm asking is the board to approve advertising through WSKV and our Powell County Patriot to help make this a huge thing. We've got plenty of time. The Jeep thing, they're gonna be doing their parade to Hollerwood. So on the next day, and then, so I feel like that, we can improve advertising, our veterans will see Powell County come out in strong force, and along with people from other places will come in. So that's what I have as far as advertising. And like I said, everything else will be taken care of outside people that are gonna buy the plaques or whatever. So it's not asking the tourism to buy that stuff. It's just advertising for our veterans and our community, in our county. Thank you.
Does anybody have any?
I'm just trying to figure out where's the tourism base at. I mean, we've got to get the advertisement out in 17 days. And I think it's good, but I mean, I don't know that we could actually do an event like that and it be considered tourism.
Well, we're not doing the.
Well, let me rephrase it. The advertisement, paying for the
Yeah,
advertisement.
the advertisement, like I
Right.
said,
What day
Where-
is the event scheduled for?
the Friday, July the 5th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it is, like you said, they are gonna have the other organizations from other counties come in. And when they brought the peacemakers up to me and other groups, and they said they were going to say, is it okay? I said, well, you all are the ones, the veterans that would be reaching out. And so they said they would be other entities, they would be reaching out. So you're gonna have veterans from other counties come in. And I feel like on a Friday, with everything being closed for the holiday weekend, you're gonna have a lot of businesses shut down, your post offices and everything be closed. So folks, I'm telling you, you'll have a good crowd that'll come out, I feel. And
I mean, I think it qualifies as a tourism related event.
But we do have to have a figure. We don't have a figure for it.
Well,
We just, you know, it's difficult to do these quickly.
well, it's already
I
done.
think it qualifies.
Yeah, because the state's already, the big thing was getting the road closure, and Mr. Frank Kincaid, as soon as he found out what it was for, 24 hours, he signed off on the letter from the city and the police chief and turned that, and Ethan can tell you, we went with Pumpkin Fest, and we actually waited weeks. We couldn't get the road closures down. It was that hard.
You guys, it's a good thing. Why can't you guys give out your free time for that? It's only 17 days.
Yeah, we're going to do it for free.
Okay.
You don't have to ask us to do that.
All
It'll be, basically what we have is we have two scales. So our free promotion community bulletin board, which I cited before.
Right.
And then we're gonna cover the parade, and then I'm gonna provide BPA for free. So we're free. Obviously, it's hard to run a business that way long-term, but I will make a recommendation as far as quick advertising, because obviously it'd be nice in a real world that quick events don't come, but it unfortunately doesn't always work. I can't speak for Brandon, but I'm sure he could arrange something like this. We do what we call bank spots. We work with other tourisms that way. So basically you just buy advertising ahead, and then instead of trying to negotiate costs, you literally say, we want to put 30 spots this week on that. We want to run a quarter page, stuff's already prepaid for what you guys deem tourism. And I can't speak for Brandon, but I get discounts for that, so it's just already paid. And then you guys can do it. Lee County's done it, Wolf County's done it with me. So as far as like the future, that might help. But as far as this, we're gonna do it for free. We don't know what size event it's gonna be. We don't know any of that. It's really quick. So we're just gonna jump on board and do it like we do our other events.
Ethan, I want to thank you
Okay.
for, like you said, I had no idea that you were going to get it. Because the word, to me, I think the word free has destroyed this country.
It's definitely makes it difficult because a lot of people think that, you know, media people just
You
roll
run
around in
business.
it and we don't, so.
Yeah, you run a business, you know what I'm saying, you run a business, and you run a business, and I feel like that,
Brandon's like, don't give it away for free, don't do it.
I've lost money on the
Yeah, I've lost money on
but what
radio.
you just done there, that says a whole lot about you and your business right there, so,
It's for the veterans.
thank you very much, and like you said, for the veterans, thank you, Ethan.
You don't want to do a motion to approve newspaper advertising
Newspaper
of a certain
advertising.
amount for this event?
Make a motion for it.
I'll make a motion.
For $8 amount.
$8 amount.
How much is a full page, Brandon?
$225.
$225?
Is that color black and white?
Sweet. That's a good deal. We've only got one time to run that ad during this time frame.
That's correct, yeah. So, I mean, I guess if you're going to advertise the Patriot, go big.
Go big for that paper, it'll come out before the parade.
And then your radio spot starting tomorrow will be how much for the next 17 days?
Again, it's all frequency with us. So, I mean, it depends on how many you want to run. We're going to put it on our community bulletin board, so that runs in rotation with all the other community events.
Right.
Those are twice an hour. So it'll probably get on, right now it's midsummer, so it'll probably get on 3 to 4 times a day, maybe right now. If you did paid boost, thinking of it kind of like Facebook, if you do it paid boost with us, they're $5.50 for retail rate 1 week type thing. So kind of however many we want to run. If we want to put them on radio, it's a little more expensive. But again,
Estimate for the whole time, I mean, what do you think is best?
I mean, 30 spots a week is the nationally recognized standard for my format.
Right.
So that's usually what I recommend if I'm running a 1 week run, if I'm kind of pressured up against that. But again, I'm happy to run it for free.
How much would,
So.
how much would the 30 be, and how much are we talking?
Do the math real quick.
That
I
boost
don't
was-
have it just like rattling right there. So if we just do best avails, it'd be 165 with 30.
There you go. So what's that total? 165 and 250.
65 and
415.
415.
Now, now,
And then I'll do PA for free.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
We have a second? I'll second. All in favor? Any opposing? Alright, so the motion's approved for $415 for the budget.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for using our services.
Okay, the next on our agenda is the approval discussion of outside use of the Exit 22 logo. I've been contacted by a few people that are wanting to use the logo for different things, so they weren't sure how to go about that, if that was, you know, how we had that situated on our end, so I wasn't sure how you all thought about it.
I think this has come up before a time or two. Generally, what we do is approve it on a case-by-case basis, and that's the right thing to do. Now, what we've done is not really a trademark logo or anything like that. Somebody could come up with something very similar to it, could utilize it. I don't know if we would necessarily have any recourse on that, but if it's our logo that we use and you all have seen and you're familiar with, what I generally want any individual to do is come forward, or entity is come forward, request authorization to use it for a certain time period, for a certain purpose, and grant them that authority to do so.
You know, when we come out with that logo, with the pine, with the tree on it, we had like 4 different ones, and what we were basically told, and we were told, said that ain't your all's logo, you can go ahead and use it, because the state came up with that on their, you know, thing, they said, you all can use it, but if someone, those other Exit 22s,
You don't want that, you don't want that logo put on anything that we don't particularly.
you know, but they were telling us that we didn't own the rights to it, you know, or anything, so.
And the problem too is if we just let anyone use it, if something should come up down the road, then it becomes we let other people use it. So what we've generally done in the past is put it in the minutes, is that this person or this entity is authorized by the commission to use it for this purpose for this duration.
I think Sasha too, when we first came on the board, the shirts changed the color of the gray and get some lighter colors. We had that, we want that dark gray.
So then we just need to come up with paperwork for someone to fill out
Yeah,
to
they need to
use
come
it.
They really need to come before the commission.
What they want to use it for.
Okay, and then last on our agenda was the director applications that we had received.
If you want to discuss those, of course, that would lead to the appointment of the position. That's something you guys are welcome to go into closed session for, to discuss those applications, review those applications, if you desire to do so. Probably a good idea, because there's some personal information on that probably shouldn't be disclosed to the general public, or you all might have questions for it. So that would be something that you're entitled to.
Part of our bylaws.
I would actually urge you to go into closed session for those discussions.
Before we do it.
Any official recommendation would have to be an open session if you got that far, but the discussion part, the review of those applications, I think should do that in closed session.
Do we make a motion for the closed session?
I'll make a motion that we go into closed session to review applications and discuss further how we want to proceed from here.
All right, all in favor?